Ladies and gentlemen, in the latest saga of the most absurd, ridiculous, completely irrational obsession of the morally superior, highly educated Democrats who have devoted their entire lives to taking down Trump as he's up over our president mashed potato brains by over 3 points in an average of polls. In the latest never-ending, maniacal, apoplectic obsession where conspiratorial theorists, Democrats, are now accusing Trump of a missing binder they had. They should just simply open up a stationery store of fake and false news. Now there's a missing binder, according to the Times. Two people familiar with the matter now can simply create a further hoax. So we already know that Trump never was a Kremlin operative. This is the original, most absurd, outlandish, un-American, fabricated story that started in 2016 after he defeated Clinton. And I think it'll be Hillary Trump 2024 again. But hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about how Trump hid or took a missing binder. According to two people familiar with the matter, if you read, so none of what you've heard about Trump for the past 7 years is true, and I'll explain why. Almost none of it is true because it's always according to two people or according to former and current U.S. officials. They get people who don't like Trump, they ask them information, they ask them for some kind of accusation, and then, of course, it's a new story. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen, to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. My Patreon is below, ladies and gentlemen. The super thanks is below. I will have a live stream probably Monday evening or Tuesday evening, and I'll have a whole bunch of live streams all throughout 2024. 2024 is going to be amazing. A beautiful, hopefully a good year. I think it will be very interesting, and I think Trump will regain the Oval Office. I think the phrase "only in America" will pertain to Donald Trump, because you have these nonsensical, completely irrational, stupid news stories. Okay, here's an example of why you should never believe the latest hysteria pertaining to anything Trump does or is accused of. Materials from Russia investigation went missing. Oh my God, you mean more information that turned out to be complete nonsense? He never was a Kremlin operative. The Mueller probe found nothing. You'd have to be a complete imbecile to think that he ever worked with another country when we have tens of billions of dollars spent on quote-unquote intelligence. And they couldn't find anything even before the Mueller probe, and the Mueller probe confirmed there were zero ties. And if the rebuttal is, of course there was this and that, then compare that to what Democrats, Clinton, and others had. There's no comparison. Okay? You had a uranium deal linked to President Obama as the only person who could have vetoed the deal. That's according to Snopes and others. So Clinton's foundation got millions of dollars from people who would eventually benefit and who eventually gave a good deal of U.S. uranium capacity to the Kremlin. But anyway, that's the New York Times, also an article. But here, this is how you know. Hit subscribe to this channel for anyone who believes that Trump is corrupt and, oh my God, like he's up 3 points in the polls after being indicted 4 times. Because nobody believes the nonsense. It's the most apoplectic, hysterical, maniacal obsession for people who are so petrified of hoaxes and fake news and information that misinforms. Okay, let's read this from the Times. Material from a binder with highly classified information connected to the investigation into Russian efforts to meddle in the disappeared in the final days. Two people familiar with the matter said. Two people familiar with the matter. Okay? They could be anyone. They could be people who are working for Clinton's campaign. They could be people working for Biden's campaign. Well, they could be Democrats. They could be Democratic operatives. They could be disgruntled employees of the United States government in any capacity, any department, who don't like Trump. What does two people familiar with the matter mean? Trump's entire presidency, almost every accusation against him, centers around two people familiar, or certain people said, or current and former U.S. officials say. They never have anything other than partisans in certain blue states or cities run by Democrats indicting Trump while they indict Hunter for something that he should never. Hunter's issues are not about taxes. They're about bribery and graft linked to Joe. They actually do commit crimes. That's the thing. People think that Trump commits all these crimes and he's so corrupt. And the news regarding Trump has been completely manipulated and information that misinforms because it's not based on anything tangible. It's hearsay and gossip and rumor. That's it. Two people familiar with the matter. Two people familiar with the matter said. Now, the Durham probe not only discovered tremendous bias, but the obvious conclusion that there were people who went after Trump for political purposes in the United States government. There were attorneys paid by Clinton. The FEC fined Clinton and the DNC for the Steele dossier, which most liberals don't know anything about, but was a compilation of complete nonsense. They had a dossier. Now there's a binder missing. Soon there'll be some more stationery missing. A notepad. Trump notepad. Trump binder. Trump post-it notes of classified data. Meanwhile, Clinton had servers with top secret intel on them for 4 years, completely independent of U.S. computer networks, and they're like, no reasonable prosecutor. But Trump binder. Anyway, Trump is up by 3.1 points. He's up in swing states. He continues to gain momentum, and they don't really understand every conviction. He'll be convicted 3 different times. I don't think he'll be convicted in Florida. I think he'll be convicted in New York. He'll be convicted in D.C., and I think he'll be convicted in Fulton County. And each one of those convictions will be overturned because the indictments read as if they were written by Democratic donors or strategists or operatives. The indictments themselves leave out obvious exculpatory information that's in the public domain. Again, each of the indictments of Trump leave out glaring, overt, obvious, exculpatory information that is public record. And everyone knows this. And Trump is the Obi-Wan Kenobi of politics. The more they go after him, the more the more popular he becomes. And they don't get it. They completely don't understand. They're like, wait, this is completely above board. I mean, he's a criminal. He's been indicted. The criminal acts, and look, I mean, you can see what's going on in the Democratic Party. I'm not going to talk about a film that 2 Democrats filmed. I don't even want to get into it. It's in the news. Okay? Typical Democratic Party shenanigans. But here you have Trump moving up in the polls, up by 10 in a Rasmussen poll, and he's just going to continue to get more popular and popular. And I want everyone, if you've lasted until 9 minutes and 37 seconds, imagine I'll be here for the live stream in November of 2024. We are going to have the most epic, amazing live stream in November of 2024 when Trump regains the Oval Office. It will be biblical beyond words. It'll be the most euphoric, amazing moment, in one of the most beautiful moments in American history, when the most vile, sinister, corrupt elements of media and American politics conspired against a man. Yes, he's orange, but he's not. We had record low poverty with Trump and record highs in household median income, and they still couldn't take him down, and he regained the Oval Office because everything they ever leveled against him was according to officials or people, unnamed, anonymous sources that despise him. It's called gossip. They've only leveled gossip at him. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Have a live stream, a couple live streams this coming week. Thank you.